Hello Anthonites. Today we're looking at a thread from a website called Reddit where a Filipino guy has questions about visiting his home country again. These are not my comments or opinions. If you'd like to read the whole thing, there is a link in the description. I would like to thank today's sponsor, Fingers. So sneaky that you'll never see them fing. I'm hoping to bring more content like this to you to bring many more viewpoints to the conversation. I will be answering questions about my own experience in the comments, so feel free to ask if you'd like info from me. Thinking of moving to the Philippines, is it really all that bad? I've made a decision to travel back to the Philippines to break away from my life here in the UK. I'm a British citizen. My immediate family lives here, but the rest live there. My mum has a home there already. Thing is, at the start my mum was very supportive, but now she's suddenly turned 180 and told me not to bother going at all. I understand life will be hard, nothing is ever easy. I'm just wondering if it's really as bad as she said it is. She was mentioning how I'll basically die out there because I'll stand out too much and don't know how to handle hardships, etc. I just want to know whether or not I'm being a complete retard about this. Is being adventurous a really stupid thing to be? I want to step out of my comfort zone, hence why I've decided to leave. But now I'm in this train of thought that maybe being depressed and living in a country that other people this is better is the best thing to do. You could live a relatively comfortable life if you earn around $2,000 a month, at least according to my dad. Also, just expect that the services here are obviously third world. For instance, we have a lot of shipping restrictions, so your options for online shopping are limited. On top of that, delivery charges and the risk of your items being held in customs make for a very poor online shopping experience here. Another would be the state of our roads, which are horrible, with some having been broken for a couple of years, and may I add the absence of sidewalks and heavy taxation on cars. Getting around by public transportation is also a huge struggle. Really, the list goes on. Personally, I'm staying here because of my job and the simple fact that I have grown so accustomed to it. There are certainly better places, but this is the country I grew up in, and as shitty a state as it is in now, I still love it. I don't intend to fully live there forever. I just wanted a change in environment. As first world or maybe entitled or privileged as this sounds, I don't like the feeling of comfort where I am right now. If you have enough funds to burn and still have enough to bounce back out when the time comes, then by all means. Also, so long as you have money, that feeling of comfort will follow you. It may sound like an adventure to live here at first, but things can get mundane if you live as someone from the middle to upper class. Unless struggling to pay your rent and your car loan, or having to line up for hours in the MRT, LRT, or being stuck for hours in traffic on your way to work is your idea of an adventure. If reading the administration circus performance over the years is not enough for you to see how bad the situation here, then I don't know what will be your definition on that word. I don't actually follow politics unless it directly affects me. If you move to the Philippines, it will affect you, but you can go and see for yourself because I'm sure you have other plans. Just curious though, why not move here in New Zealand? Or Australia? Canada? How does it? I'm not running the country, I'm not banned from going there, I'm not smuggling drugs. Also, I don't know one thing about New Zealand or Australia. I'm going home to the Philippines because it's a piece of my life that I left behind that I want to venture back into. How does it? The circus that the government is doing is increasing the prices of everything for starters, which will definitely affect you since you need to buy food and stuff. Unless you get a high-paying job in the Philippines. You need a lot of money to not give a damn on what is happening in the country. Also, I don't know one thing about New Zealand or Australia. I'm going home to the Philippines because it's a piece of my life that I left behind that I want to venture back into. It's cool that you want to go back to your roots, but you can research other countries which are better than the Philippines. Go and see for yourself. I know it's not that bad as long as you have a steady flow of income. Maybe stay here in the Phils for a month or two while figuring things out. At least that's what my foreigner friend did. He is staying permanently in Baguio now. Yeah, I am traveling there for the sole purpose of being able to travel there. I miss my home now. Depends on the kind of lifestyle and the money you can finance it here. If you live a middle to upper middle class lifestyle here, you're good. Stay away from the shady areas and shady people. Be safe here. I'm going to live as cheap as possible since that's how I was brought up when I lived over there. Shady areas. Areas where it is crime infested. TBH, if you live in a middle class upwards neighborhood, chances are crime and the noise that most neighborhoods are low. I suggest that you live in subdivisions or high-end condos. Unfortunately, your experience in the Philippines will depend heavily on how much money you have. I'm just wondering if it's really as bad as she say it is. She was mentioning how I'll basically die out there because I'll stand out too much and don't know how to handle hardships, etc. This depends on a lot of factors for your individual situation. Your username says you're Asian. If you look like Asian, then you probably won't stand out as much as how a white, pale-skinned, blonde foreigner is. If you're financially well off or earning foreign currency while in here, you probably won't get too much affected about the increasing product market prices. And if you're staying in a location with less sketchy neighborhood and low crime rate. Is being adventurous a really stupid thing to be? You didn't tell how old, young you are, but having sense of adventure and trying out things you've never tried before is part of being young. It all might eventually fade out with age once you've seen and experienced a lot of things. But I tell you that many in here would want to be in the place where you are right now. But still, this depends on every individual and wants in life. Your mom is just extra worried for you like any other moms out there. Times are bad, but we've experienced worse before. My take about safety is it's really about your location. If you're located in a place with bad crime rate and you're this pale Caucasian black foreigner, definitely you will stand out and will be targeted as foreigners are filthy rich as the common stereotype in PH. I have a lot of Canadian friends who lived here for most of the year but returns to Canada to work for like 4 to 5 months. Reasoning behind is that things here are way cheaper than what you have in the UK. Not to mention the exchange rate. So I would suggest that if it is possible, then do it. Your mum reacted cause she's your mom, and that's just how mothers are. You won't die. Or at least try not to. I believe you can do that. Do it. You should always answer the call to adventure. I'm all for stepping out of comfort zone. I like to think if you want something you never had, do something you never did. Way I see it, only the rich are safe. The lower class and middle class like me are a danger. You rich people with all your money are safe. You get to taste their best of Filipino dish and see the full glory of the Philippines' beauty. If you're coming here, strap yourself with shit tons of cash, it'll be worth it. But dear Lord, avoid the shady, low-income areas. I'm not hating on the poor, I'm just looking out for ya, bro. Sure, if you're going to live in the provinces. If Manila or conflict areas, don't even. Where can I find conflict areas? I'd also like to avoid those types of places. I'm not going to Manila only due to the plane ride, but other than that, not staying there. I hope I don't offend anybody, but based on consistent news reports, conflict areas usually are places in Mindanao, Marawi, Basilan, Maguindanao, etc. Ah yes, I heard that from my mum too. Not sure if the place I'm staying at in Mindanao is out of that zone. Where are you staying in Mindanao? Cagayan I think CDO is relatively safe. I had a professor who traveled to and from Manila on a weekly basis. 1 word. Horrible. 2 words. Just visit. If you are moving here, expect the following. Slow internet. Low salaries. Unsafe environment. Totally wrecked transportation system. Shitloads of excuses from customer service representatives. If you are having a vacation, expect the following. Hospitable people. Good seafoods. Virgin beaches. Great adventure. Be wary for long-distance relatives who are not well off. They are a money sink. Vacation is good in the Philippines but not work. I have actually kept this a secret from the rest of my family who lives in the Philippines for that exact reason. Give it a try. It is not all that bad. But always keep the option of going back to Britain open in case it wouldn't work out here. The pros and cons depend on your lifestyle. The comfort varies on where you will live. The economy now is going berserk, but at some point I believe it will get better. My husband is European as well. DM me if you want his perspective. Yeah, I'm not going there with just a single ticket. I'll be coming back after 2-3 months. That is the end of today's video. I'm sorry for doing this as a robot voice, but right now I'm going through some stuff that I'm not ready to talk about publicly. This format lets me create content for you while I work through all my personal stuff, like money issues, depression, changes in living situation, hangnails, and all those other things life throws at you.